Welcome to Juba Global News Network, and I am George. Here are the top 15 global news headlines for January 23, 2020. 6. Compiled from major international sources, like BBC, Reuters, Al Jazeera, NPR, and others. These reflect the dominant stories circulating today, with a focus on geopolitics, conflicts, and economic developments amid ongoing events from the World Economic Forum in Davos and beyond. 1. Trump announces Total Access Framework Deal on Greenland. Denmark insists sovereignty untouched. U.S. President Trump claims progress on Arctic access via NATO discussions, but European leaders hold emergency summit over concerns. 2. Trump launches Board of Peace Charter at Davos for Gaza reconstruction. New U.S.-led initiative proposes new Gaza with skyscrapers and development, but excludes Palestinians and draws ally criticism. Trump signs amid splits. 3. Trump revokes Canada's invitation to join Board of Peace, follows tensions with PM Mark Carney over global order comments, and Greenland. Canada rallies domestically in response. 4. US and Ukraine's Zelensky signal progress on peace talks. Zelensky says territorial issues remain unresolved after Trump discussions. Trilateral US-Ukraine, Russia talks set for Abu Dhabi. 5. Putin confirms meeting with us. Envoys on Ukraine. Kremlin signals next steps in talks, with territory key. U.S. envoy heads to Moscow, amid potential turning point in the war. 6. Massive US fleet heads toward Iran amid rising tensions. Trump states US is watching Iran closely as naval assets deploy to the Gulf region. 7. TikTok seals US deal to avoid ban. App reaches joint venture agreement with White House to split US operations from global Chinese ownership. 8. New Zealand landslide rescue efforts continue. Teens among missing after campsite hit in Mount Maunganui. Search could take days with several feared trapped. 9. France seizes suspected Russian shadow fleet oil tanker in Mediterranean. French Navy intercepts vessel evading sanctions, announced by President Macron. 10. Japan suspends world's largest nuclear plant shortly after restart. Operator reports stable reactor, with no external radioactive impact. 11. Amazon plans thousands more job cuts. Tech giant continues streamlining bureaucracy with additional corporate layoffs. 12. Fall. ICE detains young children, including 5-year-old in Minnesota raids. Incidents spark outrage. Amid broader immigration enforcement, officials defend actions. 13. Jack Smith testifies on Capitol Hill. Former special counsel describes Trump as engaged in criminal activity in public testimony. Trump calls for his prosecution. 14. Ongoing Russian winter attacks in Ukraine. Fresh wave of assaults reported as war enters day 1. 429 global aid concerns rise. 15. Protests and political pressure mount in Serbia. Anti-corruption demonstrators demand early elections against President Vučić. Trump-linked investment withdrawal adds to challenges. These headlines capture fast-moving events, particularly U.S. foreign policy shifts under Trump, regional conflicts, and natural disasters. Here are the top 6 major news stories emerging from Africa as of January 23, 2020. 6. Based on prominent reports from sources like Reuters, BBC, Al Jazeera, AP, and others. These reflect the most pressing humanitarian, political, security, and environmental developments right now. 1. Severe hunger crisis escalates in Nigeria. The and World Food Programme warn that up to 35 million Nigerians, including millions of children at risk of severe malnutrition, face acute hunger in 2020. 6. Due to collapsed global aid funding, ongoing conflict in the Northeast, and rising needs. Over 1 million in the Northeast could lose emergency food aid imminently, without new funds. 2. Health of detained Ugandan opposition. Leader Kizza Besigye deteriorates. The wife of prominent opposition figure Kizza Besigye reports his condition as worrying in detention, with symptoms including high fever, stomach pain, dehydration, and inability to walk. This comes amid post-election tensions following Uganda's recent polls. 3. Mass church abduction in Nigeria sparks fear. An outraged gunman raided 3 churches in a Nigerian village, abducting around 160 people. A survivor described horrific scenes with blood all over. Police initially denied but later confirmed the incident, highlighting the persistent kidnapping surge despite efforts. 4. Uganda election fallout continues with arrests and threats. A key ally of opposition leader Bobi Wine was arrested over alleged involvement in election violence that killed at least 7. From hiding, Bobi Wine rejected contesting results in court due to judicial concerns, while Museveni's camp, including his son, issued strong warnings against opposition figures. 5. Devastating floods hit southern Africa, including Kruger National Park. Severe flooding has caused widespread damage across regions like South Africa's Kruger Park, with repairs expected to take years and cost millions. Mozambique displacing over 500,000, and other areas. Climate change is intensifying these events, affecting infrastructure, wildlife, and communities. 6. Controversial AFCON outcome and future format debate. Senegal won the 2026 Africa Cup of Nations final 1-0 against Morocco. Extra time. But the match was marred by a controversial penalty and a brief walk-off. Separately, California F's decision to shift AFCON to every 4 years from 2028 has divided opinions on its impact on African football. These stories highlight ongoing challenges with conflict, climate impacts, political instability, and humanitarian needs across the continent. For deeper details on any, let me